I just feel like it is a harassment, and I feel like it's a bit of bullying. And at the same time, I'm also like thinking they're not even taking it seriously and really looking at it. So I feel like they pulled this down, they restricted my account, but there was nobody to really look at it, and it was more of like an algorithm. You know what I mean? So so I guess one word that comes to mind is harassment and not being, and then the second word would be I'm not being treated justly. So I wanted to kind of change that up, and of course, and and make it so I can post something that is something like this without having to worry about being restricted, unless they can give me a good reason why, which I don't think they can, because again, I did speak with a lawyer briefly out of Northampton. His name is Pat Mulnick, and he was under the sound opinion that I had not violated any Facebook policies, and I gave him the information. I showed him. I I I mean, I emailed him, and he looked at it briefly, and he said that he thought that I was in the right, that I hadn't broken anything or I'd done anything. I hadn't stepped any bounds for the Facebook guidelines. I posted up some videos a while ago, and the videos are they are they are taken from a VAERS source. I don't know. Do you know anything about the VAERS website? Well, the VAERS website is it's basically a CDC run site where you can report incidences and accidents and stuff like that, or whatever. Like, say if you're one of your loved ones had an overdose, they can report that to VAERS, or their physician can report it to VAERS, and then that goes into a database, and then anybody anywhere in the world can get onto that database as long as you have a PC or your phone. I have some of these, a lot of these instances get recorded and put on this BitChute channel, which takes this information and puts it on a video. So now you can see it. Now they have thousands. Like I went on VAERS. I've been on VAERS twice, and you will not get down to the bottom of the page. They have so many deaths and accidents post-vaccination, particularly COVID vaccine. So you have to put in the correct coordinates to what you want. Anyways, to make a long story short, I put this up on my Facebook page, and the first time I did it, I mean, I've been doing it all along. This is the first time that the videos were faulted, or got me restricted, got a restriction from Facebook. And I was a little bit confused about the timing because, like I said, they've already been up on my channel for quite a while. Facebook, it became apparent to me that Facebook hadn't actually had an individual view these. They hadn't really looked at that. I just received a strike, and then I was banned from my channel for a couple days. Fast forward, same thing happened. I put two others on. These had a little bit more info. They all say on the side, and I wrote something short to PissedConsumer the other day. Well, it wasn't exactly short, but I put screenshots up. I put some evidence up to show that it does indeed say, when you're watching the video, it says where the source is, and it says from VAERS, and that's the source, and that's where it's being taken from. And then they go a little bit further. They'll take like actual evidence of photos of the person, so it makes it a little bit more personal, right? And I think that gives the person a little bit more of a voice. So again, that got restricted as well. And that was a couple day restriction. It ended. Fast forward, the next day I was on to Facebook. I hadn't posted anything up yet because I want to do this video call, and I'm trying to find a way to contact someone that would know who could challenge these for me in Facebook, or look at these and say, by the way, because if Facebook is following CDC guidelines, which they are, or they're supposed to be anyways, likewise, the VAERS site has to follow CDC guidelines because it's actually a website owned and run by the CDC. So naturally, they follow CDC guidelines. So anyways, this latest one, they have, and it's kind of weird. I don't really get it. It's a little bit tricky because I can post on my Facebook wall now, and I started to like some people's comments and stuff like that, but all of a sudden it blocked me for 3 days from liking people's comments, but I could still post on my Facebook wall. So again, I don't really understand how that happened. And I've been looking for answers to see why that, because I've been kind of curious about, like, was it, so in other words, like, did I click on somebody's thing and they, or I only comment on like one or two people's things, and then that got me, but it didn't tell me, unlike with the videos, what I was banned for. So it's not giving me a reason on this. It just says you're banned for 3 days and there's no reason behind it. So yeah, so these are all adding up to me feeling like I'm being harassed and that I'm somehow being targeted unfairly because I am following the Constitution, my constitutional rights, and likewise, like the Facebook, I am following I'm following the CDC guidelines by posting this information up because that's what the CDC is putting this up for. So it's for, you know, informed consent. So before, it's kind of like giving you information so you could take a look at this and make a good informed decision before you go ahead and take these vaccines or take a medication or whatever. So all I'm doing is taking this information and putting it on my Facebook page, and I feel like I'm doing my good justly deed. And so that's really my issue, is that I feel like being treated unfairly, and not, and again, they're not responding to me. They're not letting me know what's going on. And it just seems like it's harassment and maybe even a violation of some of my First Amendment right. That's kind of like where I'm coming from. So I'm not pleased. It's depressing. I like to get my word. Everybody. I'm no different from anybody else. I like to get heard. I like to, and this kind of sets me apart from some of other people that are on Facebook that don't report these kind of things or put this kind of information on. So that's kind of like my specialty. That's my shine. That's where what sets me apart. So I really treasure in being able to speak my mind and get things out there that I feel are necessary, but at the same time, making sure that it's not going to go so far into like misinformation. So I'm taking this information particularly because I know that it's already been entered into a database, and that it's already been, because I know they look at it at the Verus site. They're supposed to look at it. They're not just supposed to post up anything on the site. So if they feel that it's just like conspicuous, or it doesn't make sense, or it's not part of, like, let's say I'll give you an example. Let's say someone dies, and then, or let's say someone, and then that gets entered into their whatever, this catalog of where the Verus would take it from. Well, if it wasn't in that catalog, then the Verus, you can't enter it into the Verus site. That's what I've read. So it has to be something that's legit. It has to be someone who's actually died, and it has to be a post-vaccine or post-medication or post whatever it is that the person took. So you can't say, in other words, you can't say the person died of, taking this Miralax when they hadn't taken the Miralax yet. You see what I'm saying? It has to be post, and it has to be documented, and it has to be evidenced, and it goes through that. So I know that's going through a filter. So anyways, I know that it's legit. What I'm trying to get at, it's legitimate, documented material that you can read and then do research for yourself. To me, a great solution would be, Facebook agrees that the videos, at least from the BitChute channel in particular that I posted, do follow their guidelines because they are CDC run and operated. So I'm able to just get on my account, put this information up, and go about my business. You know what I mean? So it's pretty clear cut. You know what I mean? Facebook's like, go ahead and do your thing. We looked at it. It looks like we made a mistake. They're not violating any guidelines. The database, the information is legitimate. It's not misinformation. And I would think that would be a really good way to just quickly solve this issue and to move forward. In my opinion, that would be totally like, okay, so you looked at this information, it's good, it's sound, it's not violating what we thought or our algorithms mistook it for, and we move on. That to me would be a perfect solution right there.